Alright, guys, how's it going? So, I'm doing a project rundown of my song She's Electricity, which came out in 2020, 4 years ago, but I've remixed it and mastered it for my debut album. It's track number 7, is it? No, track number 6, sorry. It's track number 6, and yeah, it's one of my favourite songs that I've ever put together. I wrote it when the UK first went into lockdown. So I think I kind of like wrote it in a very short burst of time, like in 3 weeks. And this was in April, May, and I think I released it in June, and it did pretty well. And it was one of the first songs that I decided to sing on, and that's when I really started to sing a lot more as well. So this song was a bit of a turning point for me personally with my musical journey. Um, so yeah, it's a cool song. I actually got a tattoo for this song as well. It's like this little I don't know if you. It's a bit awkward to show you, but like it's this like lightning bolt thing, and that to me is sort of like the logo of this song. Who knows? I might like commission like a new artwork or something with it on, so that'd be quite cool. Anyway, I'll get into the song. In terms of like how I'm going to approach talking about this song, I will probably go through the instruments, the drums, the acapella, and the vocals. I think with the acapella though, I did that in a different project, so it's just literally one file. But I can talk a little bit about it. The effects are the part of the song that I'd like to go through. I think that's pretty cool, actually. I think the effects are pretty dope. I'm really happy with those, and I've actually reused them for like different songs in my album. So you will actually find there's a bit of a consistent palette when you listen to my album when it does come out eventually. um, so yeah, cool. Let's get into it. Cool song, this one. Quite hidden. All right, so I've opened up Cubase. Here we go. I'm just gonna get up the this thing here. That's cool. Minimize it as well. Mini. Can you actually? I'll do. Yeah. So let's first of all let's just listen to the song a little bit. God, in these Macs, you don't get any sort of It's a very small screen. Okay, so this is the song. Cool song. I really like that. Okie dokie. So rewind, be kind. So I don't even know where to start. I suppose I'd start with some of the. I'll start with the instruments. Let's see what's going on here. It's that cool bass line. I don't know what the hell's going on with this. It looks all weird. Don't really want to talk about it too much. But it sounds cool. Sounds fake. So, solo. I like these sort of like French house inspired guitar riffs. Really cool. Tried to do something there, but didn't really. It wasn't that cool in the end. Yeah, the effects are really cool. Yeah, they're just very sort of abstract, a bit glitchy. Yeah, really cool. Some of this stuff. It's very sort of like surprising. Yeah, that just like makes the song. Without that, it's kind of a bit boring. I think the effects really make the song what it is, and they really sort of like built. Like if I zoom out, you can actually see all these effects just throughout the whole song. And then like everything else is just sort of like in the background. Although I really like the chord progression in the song. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's like a D, A, B, F sharp, A, F sharp, D, B, A, lower F sharp. But then like there's this really cool bass lick that's almost, it's kind of chromatic. It's really cool, and I can't really explain it. I can't really remember like how I played it, but it's really cool. I'll show you what I mean. That's the effects anyway. I'll come back to it, but that's the effects. Really cool. I like the vocals in this song. I never changed them. Really cool. Just tons of distortion. Again, I can't really show you like the chain of what I'm doing exactly, but there's just like a ton of distortion on those vocals just to make it really gritty. I thought that was a really cool aesthetic for this track, to use quite a lot of distortion. Like you can hear it in the guitar solo later on the vocals quite a lot, and on some other guitar parts as well. Really cool. There's like a lot of effects and distortion. It just gives it a really sort of like noir, a bit abstract, and it hits some interesting themes with the song. I always thought the song could be like placed well, like on so I don't know, like something like fashionable, like a TV advert for fashion or something like that, but hasn't happened, so maybe not. But yeah, I think the song always has further potential from where it's currently at. So I look forward to re-releasing it, and it is going on the album. So carrying on. Yeah, I mean with the vocals, there's some effects. Pretty cool. Electric, I like it. I've got a bad throat today, so I can't really sing that well, but pretty cool. It's just a riff I'm singing, and on top of on top of that, on top of that, you have it's a bit corny actually, but it blends really well with the song, so you can't complain. But it's like she got style, she got style. I'm basically saying she's got style. I'm just whispering it, and I think it sounds really cool, like blended with the other vocals. There we go. It's actually kind of a sexy song because you've got these. I did all these like sort of like extra ad libs in the background that you just heard. So they're just a bit almost like trying to think of the word. I don't know. It just sounds. It sounds cool anyway. Leave it there. Maybe a little bit sexual, but you know. I like the way you roll, cunning for control, the only way she knows. You come crashing down when you can't hide what you feel inside. It's in your head, man. Cool effects in the song, you know. They're the vocals. I'm probably not going too in depth for this project. They're the vocals. The drums are pretty cool. The problem I had with the first time I did the drums, they sounded really muddy, so I just kind of like, I reproduced everything in the song. I did it about 2 years ago. I could probably do it again, but I'm not going to. It's like, right, so a lot of people say like, your mix is muddy, dude. Yeah, okay, dude. But like, it's actually, some of it is intentional. No, I'd say like all of it's intentional. Like I recognize, what sometimes can be perceived as a bad mix, but I don't think it's such a. I don't think sections of like things that haven't been cleaned up properly by the book as such is necessarily bad mixing, because it can be an intention. It can be intentional. And you might be trying to achieve a particular aesthetic. And that's how I approached my song Small Town People. Originally I was going to make a lo-fi track, and I didn't do that, and it evolved, and I'm keeping it as, I kept it as it is, but a lot of the instruments are quite filtered. And so it creates a bit of a sort of a black and white feel to the song, and that's very much intentional. Really proud of that song. But yeah, just wanted to clean that up. But you get into these drums. A little bit metallic on the snare. Wow. That drum is so sick. Just listening to it by itself, but then with all the instruments as well. Check this, man. This is so cool. But the moment it kind of comes in, this is cool. Man, that's good music, man. That's so good. Just so many like cool stuff, so much like cool stuff going on. I don't know how I came up with this in 3 weeks. It's one of those like magical musical moments that comes around rarely. So yeah, the whole song was an accident, but it was great. Oh, there's this really cool detail in the song. It's so small, but it sounds so cool. I love it. So it's this thing. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just on the tail end there. There. It's like, and to me, it's such a small, it's one of my favorite details in this track, bizarrely, but you listen back to it and you can hear it slightly. And it's just like, you can hear that in the background. It's so cool. Really happy with the lyrics in the song. When you can't hide what you feel inside. That bass is so cool. It's just big. It's like raw and it's big. Very raw. Cool synth there with vibrato on. Wop wop. Wop wop. Quite simple. It's got this thing. Vibrato. Solo time. This is one of my other favourite parts in the song where I say, "She liked it," and just emphasise it. It's so cool. Sick. Sick. That solo's crazy. If you go back a little bit and then just take off the effect chains, it hasn't really got anything in it, so, you know, effects are a big deal for me. Big deal. Oh my god, that's so cool. God, I wish I could make more songs like this. It's hard though. Writing music's hard. It's very hard. Sometimes feels impossible, but yeah, that's a cool solo. Yeah, I just want to go back to this she liked it part because I thought it was really interesting. How it just blends so well. I think it's this thing. She liked it. So there's that, but then I'm also saying it here as well. She liked it. She liked it. Oh, good stuff. She liked it. Oh, good stuff. Man, that's so good. But like when it blends with the track, it just smacks, and you're into that crazy solo. It's such a cool songwriting moment. One of my best songs, arguably. It's really good, and I'm glad I've remixed it and mastered it and put it on the album as well because it belongs on there. Cool. I'm not going too in-depth for this project. It's only about 50 tracks. There's just the main elements like the bass, the chords, the acapella, which is in a different track anyway, but drums I've actually kind of talked about a little bit. Yeah, it's mainly the effects I really wanted to talk about. Those parts really like kind of stand out for me. In terms of like, you know, if anyone is like curious, in terms of like, you know, how I actually make my effects and things like that. Okay. I mean, like, I made this like high pitch thing. I made like 2 sounds to make 1 sound almost. I'm gonna need to solo that. There you go. It's just this thing. There's one like really high pitched synth. This kind of silly by itself. Then you got this. They're just sort of like modulated. Just using Serum, I just modulated the pitch quite specifically. That's all it is. Maybe some reverb. No, I think it's probably on the chain. But the high pitch and together, yeah, I just put some reverb on it. But it makes it sound very sort of random and bizarre, and it works really well. Yeah, and it's one of my favorite effects to use. Actually, I use it sometimes. I like to reuse the same sounds because it's almost like you're building your own sort of like world in that sense. You're using like the same sort of like same foundations and the same palette to create a consistent like artboard almost. Yeah, I got a couple of different sounds, just random little things like yeah, just my vocal saying shh. That's it. Some interesting like mono to stereo synths like this. Yeah, one's a saw, one's a square wave, one is in mono, and the other is in stereo, just to create some contrast. That's it. All right, so yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much it. I can look at my mastering chain a little bit as well, but otherwise, yeah, it's a bit of a wrap. Let's look at this. All right, so I use Ozone, but for whatever reason, I can't use Ozone on my Apple laptop. That really annoys me because tech really annoys me because there's always little issues. It's like I can't use OBS on my desktop computer, so I use my Mac, which is fine. I only figured that out a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh, stop being lazy, just do it. And I figured it out. There we go. But I can't use Isotope on here for whatever reason. So as you can see, I'm just using just a limiter, and it'll work. That's fine. But it more or less just represents what I normally do anyway with Isotope. I just slap on an EQ. Just make this large. God, there we go. Pretty cool. Oh yeah. Filters. Alright, cool guys, I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for checking out the video, I really appreciate it. This music stuff's so hard, if not it's impossible to like try and get your music out there and make anything successful out of it. So you just gotta keep grinding, keep just doing what you're doing, and that's all you can do in life. So but no, I really appreciate people who do like go and check out my stuff, because it's that's what it's there for. It's to entertain. It's supposed to be interesting. It's educational. It's all that stuff. So, I hope people find it useful. So, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.